Everdeen, and today I want to share with you how I crocheted this jumbo size frog. Now, I know it's a bit random, but I crocheted this frog as a gift to a family member who loves frogs, and I just wanted to share my process of how I made it with you guys, just in case you're interested and want to try to recreate it. But that being said, this is not by any means a tutorial. It's more like a crochet with me, so just set your expectations at crochet with me where you can gain some inspiration on how to recreate it if you want to, or just have fun watching along as I crochet this jumbo size frog. The yarn I'm using for today's project is Burnette blanket yarn from the brand Yarn Inspirations that I purchased at Joann's, which is my favorite craft store. I'm really hoping that it stays alive because they are on the verge of bankruptcy and going out of business, so I just want to support Joann's as much as possible. But yes, I got my yarn from Joann's. It is this sage green color, and I also got a cream color, and then I didn't show it, but I also am using a black yarn for this project for the frog's eyes and its smile. So the first thing I did was created a slip knot, and then I chained 3, went into the very first chain that I created with a single crochet, and then went into this cluster with 5, or was it 8? I actually don't remember. Half double crochets. So essentially I just went around the little circle and made as many half double crochets as I could fit in this little circle to make this little coin shape. And once I have made that little coin shape, I went ahead and built upon that coin shape with more half double crochets on top of it. But in order to make the circle bigger and bigger, I went ahead and switched from making 1 stitch per stitch to 2 stitches per stitch. So I would make 1 stitch in a stitch, and then for the next one I would make 2 stitches in that stitch, and then the next one I would make 1 stitch, and so on and so forth until I got to the size that I wanted. And then once I got to the size that I wanted, which I'm making the frog's arm by the way, I went ahead and added 3 scallops, and that was going to serve as the frog's toes. And the way I made these toes was essentially I just made 3 double crochets in the same exact stitch, and then I slip stitched into 2 stitches, and then on that 3rd stitch I made 3 double crochets in the same stitch, and that was how I made the frog's toes. And after I have completed, this is like the palm of the hand or the arm for the frog, and once I made that part, I went ahead and got to work on the actual leg portion. So this part that I just made, this circular piece, was the bottom of the arm and the toes, and now I'm going to show you how I made the actual arm part. Now, this is the most important part of making the arm. It is switching the direction in which you're crocheting. So this whole time we've been working on a flat project, and now we're going to go upwards. And to do that, we're going to go up on the top of where the project is and go into that top stitch. So instead of going and continuing on working on the sides of the project, we're going to work on the top of it. So we're going to do that for 1 row, and once you have made your 1 row going into that very top stitch on the top of the project, the direction in which you are crocheting will change, and you may not notice it at first, but after a couple of stitches you'll definitely see the direction has changed. So from the side here you could see that it's now going upward, and you only want to again make 1 row of this. You don't need to make any more than just 1 row. So you can see this is going upwards now. So after you made your 1 row of going into that top stitch and switching directions, you're going to go in a circle around and around and around that project by making your half double crochets until you get to where you're happy with the length of your arm. Now you may notice that it actually gets smaller and smaller as it goes up because I wanted the bottom of the leg to be wider than the top. And to do that, all you have to do is decrease. So once you want your project to start getting smaller and smaller, that's when you start decreasing. And to decrease, all you have to do is skip a stitch. Now, the more stitches that you skip, like the more often you skip stitches, the faster the project will get smaller and smaller. So if you want to gradually have your project get smaller and smaller, then you skip maybe like 2 stitches per row, maybe 1 stitch per row. If you want it to start getting smaller faster, then you just increase the number of times that you skip a stitch. So maybe you skip like 4 stitches per row or something. Totally up to you. I think I just went ahead and started skipping 2 stitches per row. And after I was done with the arms, I did the exact same thing with the legs, just made the legs a little bit bigger than the arms, a little bit like chunkier. And I also made them shorter because they don't need to be as long as the arms, but the steps were essentially exactly the same. I made the ball of the foot, the toes, and then the legs, and these are what they all look like together. So the longer ones are the arms, and then the shorter, stubbier ones are the legs. And after I made all the limbs, I went to work on the body portion of the frog. And making the body of the frog was really easy, so I grabbed my sage colored yarn and I made a slip stitch, chain 3. It went into the very first chain that I created with a single crochet. Then I made 5 half double crochets inside of that one stitch. Then I built upon that circle with an alteration between making 1 stitch per stitch, then 2 stitches per stitch, then 1 stitch per stitch, until I got to the size that I wanted my frog's body to be. And once I made it there, it's huge, by the way. This was a lot of rows. How many rows did I make for this? I ended up making 11 rows just for the base of the body. So I just kept going around and around and around and making sure that I alternated between making 1 stitch per stitch, then 2 stitches, then 1 stitch, then 2, and so on and so forth until I got to the point where I was happy with the size of the body. And once I got to this point, then I also needed to add just a few more rows so it could kind of curl in a little bit. And the reason why I wanted it to curl in a little bit is because I wanted some space in between just like the belly and the back, so I could attach the two together and it'll be more of like a round figure as opposed to just like 2 flat pieces that come together for the body. So I decided to make just a couple more rows with a decrease so that it could curl in a little bit. You can see the curl at the edges right here. And that's going to serve as the area where I attach the 2 pieces together to make the body. So yes, after you make this giant piece, you actually have to do that all over again because you need 2 of these. You need 2 of these to put together to make the body. And even though I have that little bit of curl at the edges of both of them, the frog's body did turn out a little bit flat. So if you want the frog to be a rounder, then make this part bigger. But that's just my little tip. And then for the head, I essentially did the exact same thing. I went ahead and made my circle, but I did want the head to be a little bit more oval as opposed to straight round. So not only did I stretch the project, but at the edges of the project, I also added extra stitches. So at the sides of the oval, instead of alternating between making 2 stitches and then 1 stitch and then 2 stitches, I just made 2 stitches for every single stitch right here on the sides until the project was more of an oval as opposed to a circle. So I would add extra stitches on the sides right here and then just crochet as normal on the other sides. And then once I got to like the oval sides of it, I would add extra stitches and so on and so forth to maintain that shape. But then once I was happy with the shape of it, then I just went ahead and crocheted as normal with the normal alternating between the 1 stitch and the 2 stitch and going around and around and around until I was happy with the size. And if you're curious as to how everything looks together so far, these are all the pieces we have so far together. So we have the body, the legs, the arms, and then the base of the head. And then this is what the head should look like after a few more rows of continuing that pattern of alternating between 1 stitch and 2 stitches per stitch. And now that I am halfway done with the head, this is about halfway where I want the size of the head to be. I'm going to start decreasing so the head could start closing in. And again, to decrease, all I have to do is skip a stitch, and I want it to be fairly gradual, so I'm only going to skip a couple stitches per row and make sure that I have plenty of solid stitches in between, so I'm not skipping too many stitches too closely together. Otherwise the project will start to ripple and kind of look wonky. So you want to make sure that you skip stitches every so often as opposed to like all the time. But yeah, little by little it's going to start getting smaller and smaller and start closing in. And once you get to that point, it should look something like this. I definitely still want there to be a hole so I could stuff the stuffing inside, so I'm not going to close it just yet. But this is what the project should look like so far, and this is actually what all of the pieces look like together now. So we have two legs, which are the chunkier pieces, the chunkier, shorter pieces, and then we have the head, which looks like this. It will eventually be a solid circle, but I'm leaving it open for now so I could stuff it. And then two arms, which are the longer pieces, as well as two pieces for the body, which are going to be one piece once I sew these two pieces together. And that's everything so far. So right now I'm actually going to stuff all the limbs with stuffing. I'm going to attach the two body pieces together and stuff it with stuffing, and then also stuff the head with stuffing as well. I also got the stuffing from Joann's. You could add as much or as little stuffing as you'd like if you want the plushie to be firm or if you want it to be squishy, totally up to you. But after you have stuffed everything with stuffing, you're going to then attach all the pieces to one another by either sewing them together or slip stitching together, and I decided to slip stitch them together because I wanted to use this thick yarn to attach all the pieces together, and this is how I do it. It is very tedious work, but I like the way that it turned out. So this is how I grab the yarn with my hook and then attach it in place. This is what the project looks like, which is the head and the body. And if you cannot tell, I was absolutely rushing to get this project done, so that is why this is not a detailed tutorial. But I did want to share with you like kind of an idea of how I put everything together. This part was the mouth area, so like the mouth detail. And I couldn't really explain to you what I did. I essentially made one row, maybe two rows normal, and then once I got to this row I just crocheted in the middle right here, and then I crocheted my way down, back up, and down again, and that's how I made this unique shape for the mouth. And bada bing bada boom, I brought my vision to life with this crochet frog. Again, I was rushing to get this done in time for my family member's birthday, but I'm so happy that I was able to complete it. As for the other details, I forgot to mention the belly of the frog is just a giant circle with cream yarn, and then I showed you kind of how I made the mouth shape, and then the outline of the mouth is just black yarn that I kind of like embroidered over, and then the eyes are just a green circle and then a black circle inside. So you know how to make everything because I already showed you how to make the circles. There's a lot of circles in this project. But yeah, that is the gist of how I made this jumbo-sized crochet frog. It took me about 5 days to complete, and yes, I did make it in time, and my family member absolutely loves it, so that warms my heart and makes me so happy. It was a rather strenuous project to take on, but honestly, I probably would do it again. Actually, funny enough, I just finished crocheting yet another giant crochet plush of something that is absolutely utterly random. You will never guess what it is, but that took me about 5 weeks. 5 weeks. So I'm kind of sick of it, not gonna lie. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break before I share with you that other project I've been working on. And the only reason I bring it up is because I haven't really shared any new crochet project videos on my channel in a while, and I just want to make sure that you know I'm still crocheting. I'm just like not sharing as many of my projects because again, they're kind of random. But if you do love these crochet plushies, then I'll definitely share the one that again I just worked on, and any more if I decide to make more, because these are quite tasking to make, but they're a lot of fun. I really love the way they come out and the way that they feel, the way that you just like hug these giant plushies. Oh, it's so cute. Anywho, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, found it interesting, entertaining, or helpful, please give a big thumbs up before you go. And if you love crochet, check out the rest of my channel. I have so many crochet related videos ranging from actual crochet tutorials, crochet with me, style my crochet, crochet ideas, and so much more. So go ahead and check out my main channel, as well as follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Both are at Krystal Everdeen. It's a fun time and I would love to see you there. Thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye, and have a magical day.